Did Attack on Titan's ending really suck? Was it really that bad that people make it seem? Did y'all really not like it like that? How do y'all feel about Attack on Titan's ending? And obviously by the title of the video and the context of the video, there's obviously spoilers. So if you haven't finished AOT yet and you don't want it to get spoiled, don't watch it yet. Come back to it. I love the support, but I don't want to spoil it for you. It's a very good series. So let's first get to it. First, let's explain like the ending of AOT. Let's see like what did AOT really mean as a whole? Did it really make sense? Where could have they went wrong? And when we put all that together, was the ending really that bad? So the first part, what was the ending of AOT? So let's just go from like the beginning of the rumbling, like the beginning of Eren changing all the way to the end of the series. So we see how Eren just somehow after kissing Historia's hand just has this whole change of emotion. And then he goes on to change himself as a person really to the point where he's going on missions on his own, expecting his people to help him. And he knows they're going to help him obviously because of his powers, but as an outsider's perspective, we see Eren changing very quickly and unexpectedly, and this is obviously happening because it's supposed to lead up to something. Right here, I feel like a lot of people was hoping for like a true anti-villain kind of thing. Like, this is Eren's real intentions. He really wants to stomp out the whole everywhere besides the island, right? And I can agree to disagree. I wouldn't be mad if he just murdered everybody and they was okay with it. Well, we all know that obviously didn't happen, and I'm pretty sure like showing Eren changed in figure wasn't meant for that. And I come to think that a lot of people thought that we were getting like a true like anti-hero kind of thing where he's like the first kind of MC to do something like this, which would have been cool. You know, it's always great for a change of pace and things, and they probably was expecting that because it's AOT, and AOT is very different compared to a lot of other like, you know, shonen anime and whatnot, which makes AOT stand out and why I feel like it's a lot very underrated. But back to it, I don't think that was the message of Eren. So if you feel like, well, message of Eren changing, if you feel like that's what should have happened, I don't agree on the fact that that's what the author was trying to convey here. I think he was just trying to lead up for suspense, play with your emotions a little bit and be like, nah, Eren's not that bad. Like, he did this, but he ain't that bad. But eventually we do see Eren go basically turn into a quote unquote villain and kind of destroy the world. But at the same time, there's really no certified answer that you can actually give in AOT when it comes to Eren being a villain or not. And I say that because you can look at it either way, and that's just, and this is like how I'm bringing it to my next point. What did this ending mean, and what did AOT mean as a whole? And AOT is trying to represent humanity. It's conveyed throughout the whole story. It's trying to represent humanity and how we are as people. I live in the United States, so this is things that our country has done. This is things that Japan has done. This is things that Germany has done. We've, like, the whole world has done things, not exactly this, but things in this manner in history, and it always repeats itself. So that's what it was trying to show, you know, and that's why I kind of feel like it wasn't meant for Eren to be an anti-hero, because it's up for debate. For example, things our country could have done, I can't really think of one right now. Some people may think it's bad, especially if you're on the other side and it happened to you. And then some people maybe on our side would think it's good. You see that same thing with Eren. Some people think he's a villain for doing this. Some people think he's just getting his get back. Some people be like, yeah, but two wrongs don't make a right. So that's why I feel like the ending was meant for. And that's how I feel AOT means as a whole, is that this is supposed to represent humanity and what we've done. It's kind of like a history documentary, but entertaining. So now that we know what the ending, like a real quick recap of how the ending happened and what it kind of means, like what AOT means, did it make sense? Did it make sense for Eren to actually kind of do this for the island and keep the island from being persecuted because it's not their fault that they're born subjects of Ymir? Did it make sense for him to, at the end of it, just change it all and this is what he really meant to do? Yes and no. It made sense for Eren to do it just because that's kind of him as a character. He's always looking out for like other people. He's never really looking out for himself. So when Eren took that initiative and went to start the rumbling, it still wasn't necessarily for himself, it was for other people, which fits his character. And on top of that, when he did it to save Mikasa and Armin, his two only friends, it was kind of weird how they added it. And you may have glanced over it when we seen Armin just daydreaming. We didn't know Armin was in that phase. We wasn't really thinking of that because there's so much else going on, but they still put it in there. So a lot of people may have right over it. So they threw that in there. I wish it was a tad bit more build up to Eren not actually like truly wanting to do that, but knowing he had to and he couldn't change his fate. We seen it like when you look back on it, be like, okay, we seen it when he asked Mikasa, goodness gracious, we seen it when he asked Mikasa, you know, what do you think about me? We seen it when Armin and Mikasa's like, this really can't be Eren. This has to be him trying to protect us in some way. And we also see it with Armin just zoning out, not realizing that he's probably in the paths at that moment, but he is zoning out at like a very serious moment for some reason. And then obviously after everything goes down, we see what happened in between those moments, and it makes sense. I feel like if it was a tad bit more, not too much, because it'll erase a lot of suspense for it and people get a lot more predictions, but you know, it's perfect in its own right. So I feel like yes, it did make sense, but at the same time I can see why other people say no, it wouldn't. But from my final point before I get to my answer, was ALT ending trash or bad or good? What did they do wrong? First off, I feel like there's a couple deaths that wasn't needed. For example, Hanji didn't have to take out my little freaky sciences. I need me a little freak by my side. That's not fair. Moving on. But I feel like some of the deaths like Hanji, maybe ZEKE, deaths like that, if they happen, I feel like it could have happened a little better. Hanji's was kind of out of the blue, and it wasn't as engaging to like, it wasn't as engaging until like she was like dying. You know what I mean? Like her death and her in the process of dying was engaging, but like it was no build up to her death. And it's kind of the opposite for ZEKE. It was so much build up to his death. Levi wanted to kill ZEKE and him escaping death time and time again, and then how he died, it wasn't as climactical. Is that a word? It wasn't as climactical as we were like, as I was, in my opinion, was expecting it to be. It was kind of like a soothing end, which I can accept. I'm not saying it's terrible. Same thing with Hanji's death. I'm not saying it's bad, but I feel like I wish it was a little bit more there. It was just a clean slate, and he gave up his life for Levi, which is cool, okay. But if they could have pulled off something else, I would have loved to seen it. But it's not bad, but they kind of, yeah. Let's just get to the final answer, man. Do I think the ending sucked? And I try to make this video quick, by the way, because I looked at all the other videos of people making like this in like 20-30 minutes, bro. You don't need that long to explain this, bro. You don't. You really don't. I don't think it was a bad ending. I think the ending made sense. If you look at it from my perspective and you see how it was trying to convey humanity itself and how we are as a civilization and how history always repeats itself, and that extended ending that they added. Now, a side factor that I did see a video where a guy was like, the extended ending doesn't make sense because if the founder reappears, how did Eren not know that? Which is like, yeah, but come on, bro. What else would he have done? You know, like if history is going to repeat itself either way anyway, like even if the Titans were here the whole time and we found the way to get peace another way, it's still going to repeat itself, still going to repeat itself, still going to repeat itself. That's what AOT is trying to convey. So if that's going to happen either way, whether Titans are here or not, what's the point of, you know, trying to change how it ends like in that form of fashion? It would make a way weaker ending if he did not do the rumbling, you know what I mean? I mean, unless Eren like died from that sniper shot right then and there, and then there's like credit scenes, that would have been crazy. Like the series is over right there. Like no context after the fact. You don't know what happened. Just end the series right there. Never come back. But I don't think it was bad. Other than that, like I can kind of see the little extended ending. I feel like it gives you that extra clarity of like, hey, this is what we want for humanity. Well, no, what? Whoa. I didn't say that right. Including this, like the extended ending, I still like the ending. I still think it's a very great ending to the series. I don't think it could have been done better, and I wouldn't change too much. Like if I were to change stuff, it's nothing big. It's like a couple of minor tweaks here and there. Cause you know, I'm like a quote unquote perfectionist. So I like to take my time and, you know, hit every little speck when I'm working on a big project. I'll make sure it looks perfect in my eyes. You know what I mean? But I think it was a good ending, bro. Including like I said, man, if you look at it from how I laid it out in this video, it's about humanity and how history repeats itself and there will always be conflict no matter what. If you look at AOT that way, how the series started and how it ended, makes sense. But what do y'all think? Y'all think it made sense? Did y'all not like it? What didn't y'all like about it? What would y'all change? Put it in the comment section, man. And by the way, bro, I don't know how my last 2 videos blew up. I'm not expecting it to blow up again. I'm not gonna lie. I don't get that. I don't understand how I hit them kind of views. I don't know. But hey, if y'all want to show me that love, I greatly much appreciate it. Y'all have a great day. And I think this might be my last video on AOT content. I may make a few more, but I think I'm moving on to other animes, man. So stay tuned.